All right, let's jump right into it. If you've got a 401k and you want to make sure it's actually working for you, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we are diving into the massive financial missteps happening in everyday retirement accounts and, more importantly, how to fix them. Look, most Americans are making at least 2 or 3 of the 8 mistakes we're going to cover today, and it is quietly, silently draining their future wealth.
To really understand the absolute stakes of what we're talking about here, consider this. Just a single bad decision, like cashing out a $50,000 balance when you switch jobs, can end up costing you over $230,000. And no, that is not a typo. Between the immediate taxes, those early withdrawal penalties, and the devastating loss of decades of compound growth, the true cost of mismanaging your 401k is absolutely staggering.
So, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Missing free money daily. 2. Silent portfolio wealth drainers. 3. Job change retirement traps. 4. Borrowing from your future. And 5. Secure 2.0 growth opportunities. Quick heads up before we get into the weeds. This explainer is strictly for educational purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. Tax rules and contribution limits change every single year, so always verify current IRS limits and, consult a licensed pro before making any big moves with your money. Okay, Section 1. Missing free money daily.
The very first mistake is not getting the full employer match. Let's break this down. If you make $75,000 a year and your employer offers a 4% match, that is $3,000 of completely free money added to your account every single year. If you just leave that money invested over 30 years at an 8% return, that free match alone grows to an incredible $339,000. Not contributing enough to capture that match, you're literally declining part of your own compensation. It is hands down the single highest return financial move available to you.
Mistake number 2 in this category is failing to increase your contributions after getting a raise. To make sure you're capturing all that growth before lifestyle inflation starts creeping in, you should follow this incredibly simple 1% per year rule. Just log in every January 1st and manually bump up your contribution by a mere 1%. Do this over 10 years and you seamlessly go from contributing 6% to 16% of your salary. You are effectively auto-escalating your wealth, and the best part is you'll probably never even feel a pinch in your monthly take-home pay.
Section 2. Silent portfolio wealth trainers.
So, mistake number 3 is investing in high-fee funds. Inside your 401k, you've got a whole menu of options, and the fee difference between actively managed funds and index funds is absolutely enormous. Think about a $200,000 portfolio over 20 years. Assuming the exact same gross return, a 1% active management fee leaves you with $856,000. But if you're in a low-cost 0.03% index fund, you're left with over $1 million. That seemingly tiny fractional difference in fees acts like a leak in a bucket, creating a massive $171,000 gap over 2 decades.
And honestly, here is the brutal irony of it all. You might think that paying a higher 1% fee is getting you some kind of premium product, right? Nope. According to Standard & Poor's, approximately 90% of active fund managers actually underperform their benchmark index over 15-plus-year periods, so you are quite literally paying more to get less. The easy fix here is to log in, sort your funds by expense ratio, and find those low-cost S&P 500 or total market index funds.
Mistake number 4 is being too conservative too early. A lot of younger workers park their money in bond-heavy funds because, let's face it, the stock market can seem scary. But if you want to avoid locking in underperformance, use the 110 minus your age rule of thumb. So for a 35-year-old, that gives you an ideal 75% stock allocation. If you still have 30 years until retirement, a market drop isn't a catastrophe, it's a sale. You absolutely need that stock exposure to capture decades of massive compounding growth.
Section 3. Job change retirement traps. Mistake number 5 is cashing out when you switch employers. Look, I get it. The temptation to just take the cash is so real, but the math is brutal. Say you cash out a $50,000 balance at age 35. You immediately get hit with $11,000 in federal taxes, a $5,000 early withdrawal penalty, and roughly another $2,500 in state taxes. You lose $18,500, nearly 40% of your money right off the top. Poof, gone.
But wait, because it gets worse. You aren't just losing $18,500 up front. Sure, you're gaining $31,500 in your pocket today, but if you had left that $50,000 invested for 25 years at an 8% return, that money would have compounded to $342,000. So you're essentially trading over $300,000 of future wealth for a tiny, heavily taxed payout today.
The golden rule here: always request a direct rollover to your new employer or a rollover IRA. Literally never let that check touch your hands.
And speaking of job changes, mistake number 6 is forgetting your old 401ks entirely. The Department of Labor estimates there is a jaw-dropping $1.65 trillion, yeah, with a T, dollars sitting in lost or forgotten 401k accounts right now. This is real money belonging to real people who just kind of lost track of it after moving on to a new company.
Because we all change jobs so frequently these days, it is totally imperative that you track down your past funds. Take these 3 simple steps. First, contact your former employer's HR departments. Second, run a quick search on the National Registry at unclaimedretirementbenefits.com. And third, check your state treasurer's unclaimed property database. Once you find those accounts, consolidate everything into a single rollover IRA. It gives you way better visibility and usually much lower fees.
Section 4. Borrowing from your future. Many plans allow you to borrow up to 50% of your vested balance. And while paying yourself back sounds really nice on paper, these 3 severe costs make 401k loans highly dangerous. First, you face double taxation. You repay the loan with after-tax dollars, and then you pay taxes on that money again when you retire. Second, while that money is loaned out, it's not in the market, meaning you lose out on all those compounding returns. But the absolute most dangerous part, the job loss trap. If you leave your job, whether it's voluntarily or not, your outstanding loan balance typically becomes due in full within 60 to 90 days. If you can't pay it back, it triggers massive taxes and penalties. You should really only reserve these loans for the most dire emergencies.
Section 5. Secure 2.0 Growth Opportunities. The Secure 2.0 Act introduced some amazing provisions that a lot of workers just haven't acted on yet. We now have expanded auto-enrollment and auto-escalation. There are also record-breaking $11,250 super catch-up contributions coming for workers aged 60 to 63. Even cooler, some plans now offer linked $1,000 penalty-free emergency savings accounts, which is a great way to help you avoid those disastrous 401k loans we just talked about. And, incredibly, some employers will now actually match your student loan payments with 401k contributions. That means you can build your retirement wealth simply by paying down your student debt. It's a total game changer. So you must check with your HR department to see if your plan offers these new benefits.
So knowing exactly how much just a single misstep can cost you over the long run, I have to ask you, is your 401k actively building your wealth, or is it quietly draining your future? Make a plan to log into your portal today. Check those fees, verify that you're getting your full match, and make sure everything is optimized. Because the cost of ignoring it isn't just a simple mistake, it's your entire retirement on the line. Thanks for joining this explainer, and we will see you in the next one.